I'm Jason Williams, and welcome to my first video. I'm recording these videos primarily for my students. This is my assistant Daniel. We're both teachers here, and I want to show you today one of the, like as I said, one of the very basic techniques that I teach my students starting out. What I teach them is I call Bandoquan, and the reason being is because it's not really a martial art like something I've created or anything. It's just a synthesis of martial arts that I know, and I found kind of crossover points for these to where one can just seamlessly meld into the other one or transition into the other one. One of the problems with, for example, styles like Hapkido, which I'm a black belt in, is that you can train 6 months in Hapkido and still not know how to defend yourself. Because, you know, it's like, oh, we got to do the stance training and all this stuff, and that's traditional. When people had years to shield themselves inside of a temple and study this stuff, that was great. A person that comes to me generally has a immediate need. Somebody's trying to beat them up or something, and they need something right now. And so I started teaching these techniques right off the bat while trying to maintain the integrity of the systems as a whole. What you're about to see is one of the techniques from Bandoquan, which is a synthesis of Burmese Thing Bando, Xingyi Chuan Kung Fu, and some wrestling and grappling and ground fighting that I have trained in over the years. Okay, Daniel is going to get me in what is a common Muay Thai attack, which is what we call a double collar tie-up in wrestling. So basically, he's going to come up and get me like this and start kneeing me right in the chest. Now, immediately, this is a tough. Muay Thai guys will generally grab you up here on the head. That's because they got big gloves on. A lot of guys, like in wrestling, will grab you down here because it's a little bit more effective. Because, like, for example, me, I don't have any hair up here, and Daniel doesn't have much. If this gets really sweaty, those hands can just slide right off. But the Muay Thai guys, what he's trying to do is force your head down into his knee. But in our style here, it really doesn't matter because we're going to come up with that knee. So, Daniel, again, really slow. Okay, first. Okay. Immediately what I want to do is get this hand here up to block his knee. Now, the further up his knee travels, the more power it's going to have. Okay? So if he brings what I want to do is intercept it down here. Now, I can still hurt my arm, but it's a whole lot better than getting my face hurt. So, let's try this again. Okay, grab. Okay, immediately, what I want to do here is get elbow control. And from this side, what I'm doing is grabbing his elbow right here, right above in this meaty part here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead. Okay, I grab the elbow. And what I do now is rotate my entire body around like this. When he gets around here, I'm going to take this arm here, hook him, and pin his body between my two arms like this. Now, he's taller than me. Ideally, I'd like to trap this shoulder up here, but I might not be able to do it. So at this point, I'm going to bring my arms up here like this. My right hand is going to be on the underside, and this hand's going to hook it like this. And from here, I'm going to use this natural steel pipe I have here, and I'm going to twist him like a steering wheel and drop my weight into it until he's down on the ground. Okay. Now. Okay, grab, spin up here, take it down. Okay, now, when I get him down here, I want to wedge his head in between my forearm and the ground. Okay, one more. Boom. Grab up here. And okay, I gotta watch this. I don't want to hurt him too much.
One thing I'd like to stress in all this is that real fighting techniques, ones that work in real fights, are generally not impressive looking. I've seen lots of real fights and been in some real fights, and they're messy and they're ugly. They're not like Hollywood or some stuff you'll see in the tournaments. What happened here is that Daniel and I had filmed 4 of these for the recording, and he progressively got more tense because he knew what was going to happen. If you know what's going to happen in a technique, you can easily thwart it. The most important element for real fighting is the element of surprise. And as you can see here, what happens is I wanted to do the technique, and so I started using my own force, and as such I threw him a little far and I couldn't get the hook on him, so I compensated and took him down anyway. That happens a lot in real life. You have to make stuff up as you go sometimes, because people don't always do what you hope they will.